Our keynote is Debating, Engaging, or Ignoring, a researcher's guide to social media. I will ask on the stage Darya Aksionova, senior expert in Latvian Council of Science, Horizon Europe National Contact Point, second year doctoral student at University of Latvia. Yeah, you have a lot of titles. Please,
I have a lot of
the stage is yours. Yeah.
I hope everyone can hear me. Yeah, just technical check. Hello, everyone. Welcome. No one actually really prepared us to have such kind of weather in the middle of May. Same is with the communication on social media. No one is prepared, but I will give you a short list of do's and don'ts, and for you to ask yourself and answer a question: do I want to engage or I don't want to engage? And we will explore a little bit on practical things and look on arguments and how to combat them. So let's start with a, sound check went well. So let's start with first answering the basic questions. Do you think the scientists should communicate online? And I would like a round of applause of those who thinks yes. Then this talk is for you. And someone who thinks no. Good. The single person. And someone who is already communicating. No one. Okay. So let's deep dive from the ivory tower of science into the black hole of social media. And I just wanted to spot some crucial things so we are on the same page and you understand that I am not like a person that is crazily promoting social media engagement, etc. I'm on your side. I was previously also broadcasting a person on the radio. Believe me, I know what it means to communicate with people and lay audience at large. So first, science is not a fact. This is a basic, trickiest thing that we need to acknowledge before we start. And communication is not one message, sorry. Yes, it should be consistent. So, and as well, some kind of things that we need to keep in mind. Science doesn't exist in a vacuum, and it's not only for scientific conference valid concept. Misinformation spreads fast, much more faster than, of course, we can face it in the comments still. Public trust in science is at stake. According to the last research conducted in 68 countries all over the world, the most trusted scientists are in India. Online is where the audience is, and the most part of the audience is there. Internet polemics differ from scientific discussions. Yes, no one will respect you only because of your degree. Sorry to bring it. And communication is more than posts. It is also in comments. And returning to it in the end, I will finalize. So do we need to engage? And let's have some matrix of the persons that usually appear on the social media and are pretty active. So first, curious public. People that really are curious, they do not know how science works. They ask questions. What is the scientific field specifics? And whatever, we definitely can communicate with them. We can answer their questions. Maybe our answer will arise even more questions, but this is another thing that we need to face afterwards. But it makes the number of your followers and supporters increasing. So this is where we are in a safe place, I would say. Then opinionated. Why it is green? Because they also can be negotiated with. They really want to reflect on their opinions. And basically, it's not even opinion. When we as a scientist say opinion, it is baked by some data or research or whatever, our experience. Basically, the people opinionated are based on their emotions more than it's more about the attitude, not about the facts. The preacher, so guys are usually anti-vaxxers and believe that aliens built pyramids in Egypt. Could be, in case you want to entertain yourself for the weekend or for another couple of weeks, probably. But you should think about, of course, your time and level of involvement. And the troll, 100% no. So I don't want you to get the impression that communication and social media is walk in a park. It's real war. And we need to also have our tactics and our strategies. So tactics, evaluate before you engage. Really ask yourself, do you really want this before you place this push the button command? But like, take a second, breathe, think, do I really want to do that? And then push yes, and it is starting immediately the process. So are these people who are asking me, commenting on my posts on my social media account, do they really are interested in what we are talking about? If they are, then definitely please do address their concerns or questions. Also assess their audience size and tone. So about the audience size, I would like to here to underline one significant issue. If the person has 10 followers, do we need really to engage with him? Does he has this power to hype badly on our scientific topics or fields of science, etc.? But if they have like 1,000, maybe it is valuable also for us to engage with them, to be reasonable, or, for example, not to comment, but to transfer it to the single post video totally dedicated to the issue that you found misleading, for example, from him or whatever. So, and really think, do you communicate or do you educate? This is a crucial thing, because the process differs and the level of involvement as well. So curious public, here we have an example from Futurama. Have you seen this movie? When a professor was explaining constantly that no, science, definitely the evolution is a real thing. It's not a fantasy. It's just usually it takes some time to explain your method, rigorousness of your research, methodology, tricky even for those who are not in anthropology, in physical anthropology field specifics. But it is much more valuable because on this content you can build also your audience. Then opinionated, I told you, it's about the attitude. Like, people really think that big pharma whistleblower, 97% of corona vaccines recipients will become infertile, and they are also a little bit preaching here about the real situation. Same thing that just was discussed on the panel. Not all the science fields are perceived on a same level. So social sciences somehow are different from STEM, and that's why people usually don't trust probably them a little bit more. But then also it could be addressed by explaining how the science works, what is the rigorousness of our research. Yeah, this comment is crucial, I think, and for the people somehow it matters really, but it doesn't. It's not a valid comment. One more thing, yes, pharma conspiracies is a big thing, and this is also what makes it even more trickier. Someone from the field, like as a nurse, oncology, says that no, big pharma interest more that people are ill than people are healthy. Yeah, like when every science field has its challenges, I would say. So sometimes people need some additional proof, not only your words. Your words doesn't mean anything. Then they would like to ask you to build an ancient amphora. You do that. They say, no, then build a pyramid. Right now, right here, but it is impossible. We need to take it critically and understand what are our limitations. Sad but true, we as a scientist have our limitations. People out there in the comments have not. So everything fine. Everyone are addressed, and yeah, this also there are different societies, flat Earth. Pyramids built by aliens, etc., etc. They are pretty popular, but could be negotiated, just for example, just for fun as well. Yeah, and trolls could be actually funny to engage with them. Like, for example, here a person writes, I hope you all pro-vaxxers get some horrible disease from the mRNA vaccines. You deserve it, I will laugh. I don't think we will hear you laugh from your coffin. Is it valid argument? No, but it's at least it makes some critically, some people that can do not lack critical reflections or opinions think a little bit about that. And one more thing is, of course, that anecdotal citations. People are citing someone at least as they interpreted their words, but it is not a real fact. And in all the science disciplines and for all the commenters out there, Gish Gallop is valid. So when the person, he has no limitations, he can jump from one thing into another, from one theory to another theory. He states as if all the data that he is providing are backed by research or et cetera, et cetera. If you would like to really honestly address all the arguments, it is just not possible. Because screening all the research paper on a subject takes time. You cannot do that at all. So what we do here, the approach could be as follows. You choose the weakest argument, and you debate on it. Because the weakest argument is easy to address, and you constantly are trying to return this person to this initial argument, where we are, what we are discussing here, what is the content of our discussion. And this is perfectly okay for someone who is reasonable, who is reading what you comment. This would be the red flag that the person jumps from one topic into another. So, strategic silence. Let's keep our foil caps on. And definitely, we are not feeding the trolls here, 100%. Because this is something even messier than just the simple comments of the persons. We need to understand how we do that, and when we report or ban the person. When he is on the personal issues, for example, making it too personal, like personally intervening with your ideas or your messages, or wants to trigger you by addressing some personal issues of yourself or knows well you. So we are blocking him, banning, reporting. This is a good strategy. I see that I'm a little bit ahead of time, but yeah, I hope the next speaker will be ready. So all the critical comments that can happen online are perfectly depicted here in this picture. So, and here is one story that is probably 100% anecdotal, but still, this is Max Planck, who was a Nobel Prize laureate for quantum mechanics, and he was preparing his lecture and writing on every university, almost every university in America, together with his drivers, delivering this presentation which explains the concept of quantum mechanics to the audience. Once in a while, the driver says, let's switch places. I will deliver the lecture because I've had 100 times. I've listened to it. I remember it by heart. And you will sit in a driver's cab in the audience. They switched. Driver delivered the lecture. Everyone were good with that. No one commented anything. And then the questions came from the audience. And the driver says, oh my gosh, this is such a simple question, even my driver could answer it. So, so Max Planck raised the question, answered it as well. So this is the trickiest thing. When we have a lot of experts, and as you know, this evolution of experts changed over time. First, it was scientists, then it was journalists, then right now it's maybe some, our neighbor son, who was very good at the university, and he's an expert in that. So this kind of influencer online who is better with for example, audio or video editing. That's why they have this interesting content to introduce. It doesn't mean that it is valid and on arguments and baked by research, but yeah, they still have their point of view that which they deliver quite well. So let us then jump into the comments and take the next step in building these relationships and probably building the community, the audience that will support you in your next scientific endeavor and your opinion, but your real opinion, not attitude, opinion that is based on facts. So, should you have any questions? Also, here is the one more thing that I wanted to add. When we are talking usually about the journalists, this is a really critical thing that we should understand. Are we talking to the person or are we talking to the audience that he or she represents? And it could be also tricky because journalists are experts in something that they had no clue about 30 minutes before. Usually it is like that. And for the scientists, it's very hard to explain the concept in a very simple term. Or we can work together, explain something, and then journalists will simplify it for their audience because they know definitely their audience better than us. Or we can make it and learn ourselves to critically reflect on some things in a more simpler way, because we clearly know the limitations of these simplifications, because oversimplifying is also bad, and bad not only for our image, it is bad for our audience that thinks that science doesn't work. And if there will be more scientists online, I know how challenging it is and how time-consuming it is really. But if there will be more scientists, we will have the community that could support each other. Because usually when we have such a kind of backlash, people are telling me, for example, that they are alone there, out there, and no one is supporting them. Like couple of voices that do not make this critical mass. Let's stay online, let's get together, let's support each other. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Daria. Maybe there are some questions in the audience. Please, questions are welcomed. I have a microphone. You can also ask your questions in Miro. Yeah, I think you know what it is. If you have any questions, no? Maybe some ideas, maybe some, I don't know, yeah. Maybe
everything clear. Maybe
everything clear? So start communicating. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.